Get on this boat and see what's going on over here in St. Louis. Scared now.
What's he talking about?
Oh god, we had to be at the airport by 6.
Arch and everything. Man, that looks super nice.
And it was like, oh, and you lose so much.
Now we're on the boat on the river. See what's going on.
Alrighty, folks, looks like we got everybody on board. We got that gangway going up. We'll get everybody here in just a minute.
I ran my first half marathon. I ran it wasn't my first half marathon, but the first time I ran a half marathon.
They late. Oh, they let it back down.
My friend lives there, so we run the half, the rocket half. The first time I ran, my guts out because I didn't realize how
They're gonna give us our pictures.
You had to buy it.
So between
Alright, folks, I lied to you. Now we got everybody.
this one for me.
Now, folks, we pull away from our dock. Look just upstream and to our left, and that fencing on the street level. Just to ride that white trailer, there's a yellow sign hanging there fencing. That sign is the river gauge here in St. Louis. That sign today is telling the river is at 7.0 feet and rising. Now that number has no attribute with how deep the river is. Back in the 1800s, and one day they decided to mark how much river fell down in 1 year. They marked that 0, and that's what we're measured from, is that 0 mark. Now 8 feet's about normal on that gauge, so we're pretty close to normal this time of year. When we're 8 feet, we have about 20 to 30 feet of water below us. It's actually showing right at this about 25 feet of water beneath the boat. Now folks, if you want to get your postcard shot of the arch, take that white building and green dome that's in the courthouse. The old courthouse right in the middle of the arch. That's your postcard shot. Listen, now you gotta get back down the river later on. We'll talk why the arch is here to get back down the river.
I'm talking about not really.
We've got 3 flags flying off the
on my boat.
left right there as follows: the Missouri State flag, the American flag, and the City of St. Louis flag. Now we're out here traveling on the Mississippi River today. The river is 2,400 miles long, 180 miles south. Just down in clear other words where the Ohio River comes into Mississippi. You go upstream ahead of us here 30 miles. The Illinois River comes in, and 15 miles up, the Missouri River enters Mississippi. I think I'll say those more or less the halfway point on the Mississippi. Now going upstream from here to St. Paul is about 700 miles. Now from here up to boats are allowed to push 15 barges because the lock and dam system starts here. So
That's right.
That's what will fit through one of those locks at one time, are those 15 barges. Heading downstream to the Gulf of Mexico is 1,200 miles. Now from here down there are no locks and dams, the river is wide open. So these larger boats will fit 30 or 40 barges at one time. Now the helicopter rides in this next barge. The helicopters run from 11 o'clock in the morning till dusk at night, offering helicopter rides throughout the area.
That's what we need to do. Take the helicopter ride.
I trust him.
Somebody's scared already. They might let me fly that.
No, it's only 2 of them. I will. I thought both would work out.
just upstream to our left up there on the sidewalk level, there's a 17-foot statue up there. That statue is of Lewis and Clark. It was put down here in 2006 to mark the 200th anniversary of the Lewis and Clark expedition. It's supposed to show them returning to St. Louis after almost 2.5-year journey out west over all their exploring now. We're looking at the back side of the statue. The front side's got their from their boat, their big dog that went on the trip with them, and of course, Mr. Lewis and Mr. Clark.
Yeah, we ordered a case of it just to have it around.
Hold on.
Yeah. So after my tummy problem,
See what y'all doing.
because I was just feeling so hungry. Yeah.
Sit down.
What?
Sit down.
Not. Why? You scared?
What did you pay for a case?
How you scared if I'm standing there?
Now looking out in front of us, the first bridge we're going to pass beneath today is the Eads Bridge. Now this was the first bridge to cross the river here in St. Louis. There were a few other bridges put up north prior to this. Now before these bridges opened up, all rail traffic would terminate on the bank and have to be ferried across the river. There's a little train going across the lower section of the bridge. We'll talk more about the little train system here in just a second. Now this was the first bridge to use cast steel in its construction. Started back in 1867. The bridge was completed and open for traffic on July 4th of 1874. We're still using the bridge today. The cars and trucks now use the top level, so the horse and buggies. There's even a sidewalk, the only bridge in the downtown area you can walk across. Now the lower level of the bridge is now used by our light rail system called Metrolink. These little light rail trains run from our airport in North St. Louis to about 20 miles off to the east of us over in Illinois. You'll see them crossing the bridge every 10 minutes or so. Now the freight trains no longer use the bridge, not because of its age. Today's rail cars have gotten bigger and bigger. They won't fit underneath this bridge anymore. So it's a perfect fit for that light rail system. And this second bridge out ahead of us here is the Dr. Martin Luther King Memorial Highway Bridge. Dates back to 1952, then called the Veterans Bridge, and then later renamed to honor the Civil Rights leader. Now that bridge does mark about the northernmost boundary of the original city of St. Louis. The original city consists of where the arch grounds are today, and this little piece of land off to the left of us between the bridges known as the Cleves Landing. Now the landing over here will give you a good snapshot of what old St. Louis looked like. All the old brick warehouses, the cobblestone streets, that's pretty much where the arch grounds look like when the arch was built. All these old warehouses are built here along the riverfront to store all the goods coming off the steamboats. Now this area here has been converted to restaurant, bars, offices, and now even apartments. Now we have the pavilion off to the left of us from the shoreline, these three piers out in the water. Now that was the landing for the first casino on the St. Louis side of the river.
First casino.
Now there's an old riverboat called the Admiral. The cruise was supposed to here for a number of years. In the 1980s, the boat was converted to a casino and operated this spot here until about 10 years ago. Now it was replaced by a casino halfway up the hill there called the Lumiere Casino. It's in that white building. Attached one, the Green and Blue Glass, which is a Four Seasons hotel. Now also coming in view of the very top level of the building is a large dome building. It's now called the Dome in America Center. It's part of our convention center. It was also home to the St. Louis football Rams for 21 seasons. They moved back to LA here 5 years ago.
St. Louis Rams is over with.
We should have went on top of the ridge. I mean, yeah, on top of it.
You can go up there if you want to. I can walk up there. And be scared. That's what you're gonna be. I know it.
Yep. Union
Man, that little wind feel good. Bro.
Look at that, Gordy. Look at those windows.
That is cool, isn't it?
Oh, it's
I'm going to say 1880s, 1890s. Oh, when did electricity start? About 1890.
It's the same color. It's Riri. Solid.
Union Electric.
That is what we operate.
That is pretty cool.
I believe that's a snake right there.
It's like it's like a gold color. Just like that.
Man, they so scared. I'm gonna tell you right now, they so scared. Especially this one right here. I know she was trying to act like she ain't scared, but she's so scared.
That was the first generating station built west of the Mississippi
Okay.
River. It was built back in 1902 to supply power for the 1904 World's Fair held in St. Louis. It was the first World's Fair to use electrical power anyway. The fair is something about 6 miles off to the west of us. Same area as the St. Louis Zoo and Art Museum in Forest
You
Park.
gonna talk about drink.
Now, besides being the first fair to have electrical power, there were a few others. The ice cream cone, hot dog.
What's going on? Just leaving the arch, just got up out the boat. Got off the boat, might I say. We'll be back tomorrow to go up in the arch. They didn't have no appointment for today. Come on. So we'll be back tomorrow to go up in there and see what happened. Go all the way up to the top. Check it out.
Yeah.